And hello everybody, welcome back to the channel guys. I hope you're all well. Before we do get into tonight's live stream, or today's live stream should I say, please do smash the old like button and subscribe to the channel and get involved into the live chat. Starting to get the hang of things here, doing these sort of live streams. I hope you're enjoying them and stuff. So yeah, if you are, then as stated, let us know down there in the old comment section below. Now in today's sort of live stream, it's no breaking news as such. We're going to be sort of rounding up what's happened today. It's going to be a bit more opinion based and be discussing why we think we had the strongest evidence yet for two-tier justice within the United Kingdom. It has been a hard couple of hours, really. Of course, we found out the news earlier on today that Tommy Robinson would indeed be sentenced and would be going to be spending probably 9 months in prison. And I stated earlier that he is a political prisoner, and it's a disgrace in general that the man has been jailed. And he shouldn't be jailed at all for what he's kind of done. But this leads us on to other things and other areas where we want to discuss within the United Kingdom, things that just aren't making sense. And you are judged, or for this instance, you do get justice given to you based on what your beliefs are. Now, Tommy, of course, pleaded guilty today to his incident, obviously showing the documentary. But again, does it justify 9 months in prison? Yes, an 18-month sentence, but probably do serving 9 months when there's people out there recently like Hugh Edwards that this gentleman here, Hugh Edwards, that had child pornography actually on his he was caught with child pornography and didn't actually need to serve a sentence at all. It's truly messed up system that we live in this moment in time within the United Kingdom. And Hugh Edwards was one of those individuals that never had to receive any jail time. Yes, the BBC News anchorman Hugh Edwards had child pornographic material and was able to walk free. How do you make that make sense? Like, genuinely, how do you make that make sense? That a paedophile got to walk free without getting any jail time. Now, I don't know the circumstances behind it, probably played the mental health card as to why he didn't get sentenced to anything, but still a disgrace when you actually think about the two crimes. Tommy Robinson going to be prison sentenced for 18 months, Hugh Edwards with child pornography able to sort of walk the streets, which is absolutely disgusting in itself. But it carries on. It's not just the situation with Hugh Edwards. Of course, you've got Mike Amesbury, the gentleman, of course, the Labour MP recently, that was... Sorry, let me try and get an image of him still in my thingy. Here we go. Mike Amesbury, of course, you've probably seen footage of him circling around on social media of him knocking out a person on the street or having a violent alteration. And Keir Starmer has actually came out and spoke about it. He was asked to comment on the situation with regards to Mike Amesbury, the Labour MP. But what people are sort of trying to question here is this man sucker punched somebody on the streets in a violent altercation, and then of course hit him 6 times. Keir Starmer simply just when asked about the footage just said obviously he's been suspended, there's a police investigation going on, but he just branded it as shocking. But surely, as Piers Morgan has rightly pointed out, he said if people were jailed at Starmer's urging for posting violent threats during the summer riots, how on earth can he not demand the same punishment for one of his MPs who actually committed awful violence? So this gentleman, you can see it with your own eyes, actually did have a violent situation with somebody on the street, hit him multiple times. as stated, the most violent thing you can see. But people like Peter Lynch and other political prisoners, people that were involved in the riots, people that posted hurty words on Facebook were jailed for 2 to 3 years. But actual violent people get away with absolutely nothing. And we've seen this one play out before. It'd be interesting to see what does happen with Mike Amesbury, because, people are calling for it. And there's a lot of high, people in high positions now, of course, questioning it, which is good to see. Piers Morgan, of course, using his platform to sort of question this two-tier justice system that we keep on seeing. And it doesn't stop there, because Ricky Jones, remember the gentleman that told people to slit the necks of basically British patriots? He was one of the gentlemen again. He has been granted bail till the end of the year. He hasn't been fast-tracked like those people in the summer riots. He's a gentleman that is now currently free as such, and did something far worse than what people were doing writing on Facebook, and still hasn't been sentenced to prison, wasn't fast-tracked into prison, and still has his freedom, still cutting about, still doing his stuff. So it's interesting to see how these things are all sort of correlated, and depending on what side of the fence you're on, depending on what your sort of beliefs are, determines on whether you're going to get punished in a certain way. As I said, all of these guys that I've shared with you today are not sitting in prison at this moment in time. They still have their freedom. Hugh Edwards, paedophile. Mike Amesbury, a Labour MP that literally had a violent disorder of the streets. We all see it with our own eyes. Ricky Jones. And then, of course, the Manchester Airport boys. Let's try and get their picture. Sorry, I'm getting mixed up with the pictures. Let's try and find them. Yeah, these three. Still absolutely nothing on these guys. What's happening with these guys at this moment in time? Still nothing with regards to them being in prison. One of them broke a police officer's nose, and still, again, have their freedom there. So depending on where your beliefs lie, depending on your religion, depending on what you believe in, determines on how you will get treated by the justice system within the United Kingdom, which is absolutely disgusting to see, as you already know. Following this then as well, you've got someone like Tommy Robinson. You've also got somebody like Peter Lynch. You've got other people that have been jailed for writing things and not being involved in violent crimes, were put in prison in the place of serious offenders, serious criminals, as they got released. We've heard the countless stories over the last couple of weeks of gangsters who have been involved in violent kidnappings being able to be released early. There was an incident where one individual was meant to be serving an 11-year term, but actually was released 6 years early due to free up some prison space to allow people like Tommy Robinson and protesters in the summer to go into prison, which does not make sense. Who would you rather be walking the street? Someone who writes something on Facebook with no history of a crime, or these violent gangsters and violent criminals, pedophiles, rapists, all these kind of stuff. It's absolutely mental, and I genuinely can't get my head around it. But again, it still carries on. This two-tier justice system that we live in within the United Kingdom is absolutely disgusting and absolutely diabolical. And this is probably the strongest evidence yet. And Keir Starmer does have a lot of questions to be asked. And it is good that people are calling out his stuff. He likes to remind us so many times that he was high up in the putting these people away, putting criminals away. And urged in the summer that, he wanted to make an example of the protesters, make an example of people that were violent or inciting violence, but again, can't use the same situation when it comes to people in his Labour Party, people in on different sides of the political spectrum, and I just wonder why is that? Why is it? And it'll be interesting to follow closely. And as stated, it's good to see Piers Morgan did call him out and stated that if people were jailed at Starmer's urging for posting violent threats during the summer riots, how on earth can he not demand the same punishment for one of his MPs who actually committed awful violence? I know. Make it make sense, because it just doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't make sense to you guys who are watching. But you know, it is what it is, and it's genuinely always a disgusting sight to see. And Keir Starmer is an absolute disgrace, and it's part of him. And there's still so many people out there. Tommy, of course, today is one of the guys that's been put in. But think about the guys, you know, probably who would have been walking amongst you on Saturday that were jailed for writing things on Facebook. I mean, you've probably wrote something on a Facebook chat or a YouTube chat that probably warrants a 2 or 3 year prison sentence in Keir Starmer's eyes. And again, you know, these people are walking the streets free: gangsters, rapists, paedophiles. All of these people and other people going into prison. It's just an absolutely disgusting state of affairs that we currently have in this country. And it makes me really frustrated and actually really sad. But yeah, enough of the ranting, guys. Just thought I'd come on, share something, get my thoughts out there, really, because it has been a frustrating day, really, within the space, especially for us patriots. Obviously, you know, Tommy, of course, going to jail, even if you don't support Tommy Robinson, whatever. It's just a sad day in general because of the overall situation as to what this actually means for society. And it's not until you get this sort of socialist tyrannical government out of place until we'll actually see change. And you just got to keep holding them accountable, because it's absolutely disgusting to see. And that's it, guys. I won't take any more of your time. I hope you enjoyed this little rant, a little bit of a conversation base. We're still finding our feet here on these live streams, so do bear with us. We'll get there eventually, but any breaking news that does come out, we'll be there to sort of cover it here on the live stream. And we've also got the day-to-day videos as well. So if you did enjoy yourself and you got something to say, guys, please do let me know down there in the comments. And if you want to add to this conversation, we can continue it down in the comment section below, guys. Thank you. I've been Dan, your host. Hit the like, hit the subscribe button, and I will see you all next time. Take care. Peace.